Hello and good evening, everybody. How are we all doing? Good afternoon and good day for those that are watching way over on the other side of the world from North America here as well. We're back, and this is, unfortunately, the last time this season, but that means we got a great race ahead of us here this evening. So, first and foremost, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, we are supporting Macmillan Cancer Support here at GT45 Gaming and DMJ Vroom Room. On the Facebook stream is a donation button. It is a little pink bottle cap with a heart in the middle of it. You press on that, it takes you to a safe and secure link through Facebook, and the money goes directly to Macmillan Cancer Support. We've raised a pretty large amount of money over the seasons here with DMJ Vroom Room, and hope to continue to do so for the amazing organization as they help families in need over there in the United Kingdom. So huge shout out to our friends over in the pond and the amazing work that they're doing over there at Macmillan Cancer Support. Presented by DMJ Vroom Room, partnered with LWR Designs and DDR. Special shout out to Fanatec and GT Omega. And of course, I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. Much love to High Pre Graphics for the look on all the amazing broadcasts here from our Pro-Am division all season long. This is our final round, Season 3 Pro-Am division, and it is a 1-hour showdown based off the championship standings in reverse order. So our last place driver will start on pole tonight, and our championship points leader will start at the back of the pack tonight. So a little spice, something sugar and nice here at the Nurburgring 24-hour layout. It can't get any more difficult than this. If you watched the pro broadcast last night, you know exactly what the drivers are going to see here. And, well, for a lot of this race, they're not going to see a whole lot of anything but what's barely in their headlights in front of them. So we're going to see a day turn in tonight here at the Nurb, and the drivers are going to have their hands full. Kilt coming in with that like in the share, OGR Toolshed coming in with that like, Scott Arthur also coming in with that like, and Kawoof Daniel coming in with the follow. I apologize if I mispronounced that name. Welcome to the Winter Circle community. We appreciate all that amazing support. Let's keep locking it up here. All right, series details here. Tonight's a little bit different than what we typically see here for our series details. You see on the screen in front of you, it says 5 times tire wear. We're going to crumple that up. We're going to throw it in the trash can behind us. There's no tire wear tonight. We're going to let the driver send it. However, 3 times fuel consumption still is in play. That means strategy is a factor in the race tonight. BOP is still on. There is still no tuning. TCS and ABS are still allowed. The heavy damage model, same thing. We've crumpled that piece of paper up. We've tossed that thing into the trash can and behind us. And we're giving the driver some light damage here tonight. The trackage is real, slipstream is real, our track line penalties are still on weak, our pit line penalties still apply, and our flag rules, of course, still do apply. It is going to be a rolling start for our event here this evening for our finale, and it is a refilling speed of 5 liters per second. Now, it's also race for real conditions, and the mandatory tire must be used for 1 full circuit lap. Tonight, that tire is the racing hard. So that leaves the drivers basically 2 options here tonight because of the length of this racetrack. If they opt to start on the hard tire, that means that they cannot take that hard tire off until the end of lap 2 in order to get that mandatory tire count. Now, if they choose to do that towards, say, the end of the race, if it's an 8-lap race, then they need to pit and take that tire at the beginning of lap 6 in order to get that tire mandate to count. Now, a couple other things. The timer will only go 3 minutes past the race time finish here tonight, so wherever it is that these drivers are on this racetrack, when that 3 extra minutes runs out past our 1-hour timer, that will be our official race finish here tonight. We will crown our 3 podium finishers here tonight. Boo, no full damage. It's all about the show for the fans here tonight. The finale run, of course, there are implications for the drivers. But for us, it's all about the show for everybody watching at home. So, the Beast, the Nurburg, the drivers, some like it, some don't like it. Most don't like it. It is a very difficult racetrack. It is compromised of several corners, as you can see, and this is just little bits and pieces of it here on the screen in front of us rotating through right now. We still have 7 minutes to race time here. There is no qualifying tonight, so when we're ready to race, it is race time, and we're missing 2 of our drivers here for sure tonight, so I think we're just missing 1 more right now in the lobby, and we're rocking and rolling. Love to see it. Boo, it's the finale. I know, Leo. I know. And we're going to break this thing down for you amazing folks at home right now. So, there we go. Up on the board in front of us is the championship point standings after 9 long, grueling, enduring weeks of racing from this Pro-Am division. Now, with that being said, this is also a historic season for DMJ Choice of Weapons Season 3 in North America, as well. It's the first time we've ever had a Pro-Am split division in any of the Choice of Weapons series here or across the pond in the UK. So this is a DMJ first for this particular series as well. And I gotta say, I don't know about the viewers at home watching right now, but they have not disappointed. They have put on an incredible season for everybody at home to watch, and myself here in the box. So I cannot complain about the action we have seen from this absolutely incredibly quick division. We're just going to reset our capture card here because apparently it's not working. There we go. All right. So on the screen in front of us is our championship point standings, and our grid will be based off of this exact set of standings you see on the screen in front of you. So in the lead is VPR Soul Invictus 91 with 263 points. He has locked that championship in. He will be crowned our Pro-Am divisional champion at the end of the night, no matter what happens. VPR CB Matt as well sitting there in second place with 227 points. His position in second place isn't so comfortable. He's got ATK's Motorsports Death sitting there in third place, and he is only 9 points away from second place. He can very easily take second place away from CB Matt here this evening. ATB is sitting here in fourth place from Apex Sim Racing, and he's over 206 points, and he is not out of this fight for the podium yet, as there is 33 available championship points here this evening, 32 for a race win, and 1 for fastest lap on the racetrack. Egon is in fifth place, and he's with 202 points, and really essentially from second to fifth place, it is anybody's game for podium position here. So much more implication on this Pro-Am standings than there was in our Pro Division last night. From second, third, fourth, and fifth place, it is still anybody's call for those podium positions tonight. Mustang J sitting there in sixth place with 156 points. Pete Snow with 143. Apex Racing Superman there with 135 points. Miguel, now a part of VPR, with 134. ATK's Fast Ginger there with 127. Bandit Zeke, independent driver, with 99. DDR's Jonesy with 87. Chip Reese from VPR with 79. Apex Sim Racing's Heathen with 58 points. Vegas with 40 points. Independent driver. DDR GVD Kilty as a substitute driver, full-time turned substitute, turned back full-time, 36 points. And Flying Fox Racing's Ridge Raider had to step out earlier on in the season, still sitting there with 20 points. He raced, he registered, he went through the process. He's a part of this championship standing and gets absolutely no less credit for his contribution to the series here and in this Pro-Am division. So several teams again here taking part as well in our Pro-Am division here at DMJ Vroom Room as well. So we're going to leave that up for a second, and we're going to talk a little bit about what the drivers are facing. So there we go. This is the track tonight, and it is a 15.77 mile racetrack. That's right, you heard me correctly, 15 miles long, 26.38 kilometers. It has 97, that's right, 97 left and right hand turns. It is a tarmac and concrete surface. It is a real world circuit and has an elevation shift of 984 feet throughout the track. This one is a doozy. They call it the Green Hell, and it's our championship finale here tonight. So this is what the drivers are going to be battling here this evening. We got Joe coming in with the thumbs up, Scott coming in with that share and the reaction on the stream as well. No Liner Gaming coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. No Liner Gaming over there on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. Another great commentator himself. Got to go check him out next time you get the chance. All right, so we're going to take that down. We're going to bring the standings right back up. And we're going to set ourselves a little grid. Ooh, we have an extra driver. What do I not know? We had 2 not check in. Alright. Alright, so we're going to reset the lobby here. That's irrelevant to what's going on right now. I thought for sure that we were going to have 14, but 13. It looks like we've got 14, which is even better. And the Pro-Am division, in all my experience of commentating now in leagues and other events and just all across the Gran Turismo platform, the Pro-Am lobby always seems to be the most dedicated and the most heart-filled lobby in the group. And the reason I'm going to say that is I'm going to single out a specific driver out of this Pro-Am division this season, and that's Apex Sim Racing's Heathen. This guy had a fantastic season of flat-out racing last season. He won himself a championship for the first time in his sim racing career. He's just on cloud nine. He is amped up. He's excited. He is raring to go to fight for a championship here at DMJ this season. The first time for Pro-Am Lobby. I mean, this guy was fired up to race this season and has only been able to complete, I think, 2 races this season due to wheel issues and disconnect issues. And we're in round 10. Now, most league racers, respectfully so as well, and as an organizer and a host, fully expect it at this point in time after having that many issues. A driver is just going to give up, reassess the situation, try to sort the situation out, and attempt in a new season. But Apex Sim Racing's Heathen is on track tonight, and he's here to give it one final tear around the series. So that's the heart of a champion, ladies and gentlemen. Apex Racing Heathen deserves an extra special shout out today because if we were to have a special award for a driver award, it would go to him this year just for his dedication to the series and his commitment to the sport and the drivers that he's racing against. So special shout out to Apex Sim Racing Heathen. And just wanted to take a little side note there because this man has been dealt a tough deal this season and he's still here ready to compete. So definitely deserves a little extra special shout out to kick this thing off here tonight. So absolute big love right there is what that is, folks. Alright, just waiting for one more driver to check in and then we can set ourselves a grid here. So you don't get to see yet, not yet. Okay, you can see. Not until we set the grid. Haha, let's go Jonesy, Kilty. Vegas says Scott. Paul says it's Cody B. Let's go Kilty. Sweaty D's. Let's go Superman. Cody B. up in the house. We got some legends up in the house here tonight. We got Leo coming in with that share on the stream as well. So we're going to get to this thing here. We're just waiting for... Hey, there we go. Everybody is checked in. So we're going to set this grid right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So... starting off our race this evening on pole position is going to be fan favorite DDR GVG Kilty. Kilty is going to be starting very first, and he's going to be lined up with Vegas Paul right beside. So it will be Vegas Paul sitting in second place on the first row. To start off row 2 will be Apex Sim Racing's Heathen. So getting a nice P3 start here for himself to start our race off this evening as well. In fourth place, it is going to be VPR's Chip Reese. So he's going to get a nice, good, juicy starting point here as well. And actually, where is Chippy? There he is. I cannot find him. Haha. All right. So what's happening is we're setting up the championship standings in reverse grid here, ladies and gentlemen. So we're putting a big twist on our race here tonight. We do not have Jonesy as he was unable to make the race tonight, so that will put Bandit in 5th place. From there, it's Fast Ginger sitting there in 6th place right in behind Bandit. From there, it's going to be Miguel in 7th position. Oop. Behind Ginger. Okay, or Ginger ahead of him. There we go. Ginger, Miguel. Superman will start up in behind Miguel here in 8th place. So another driver here who's been struggling with some connection issues and whatnot this season as well. We have Pete Snow, who's not in the race tonight, so that's going to put Mustang J from ATK Motorsports lined up in 9th position here behind Apex Racing Superman. From there, it's going to be Egon, who is now we're getting into those drivers fighting for those final 2 spots on the podium here tonight. So there is a lot on the line for several of our drivers here this evening. Is 4 drivers most specifically here looking to lock down those final 2 podium positions here this season. And I think that we're going to see a pretty spicy race here tonight. So we're just going to verify that grid one more time, ladies and gentlemen. It's Kilt on pole position. Lined up beside him will be Vegas Paul. In row 2, it is Apex Sim Racing's Heathen, followed up by Chip Reese. To start off row 3 will be Bandit Zeke. Sitting beside him will be Ginger in 6th place. Starting off row 4 will be Miguel in 7th, with Superman beside him in 8th. From there, we go to ATK's Mustang J, lined up in 9th place with Egon beside him in 10th. Then we'll have Apex Sim Racing Guardian ATB in 11th, with ATK's Death in 12th place, CB Matt in 13th, and Sol Invictus, our championship points leader and champion this season, starting off in the final grid position here tonight. So, not a lot on the line right now for one driver here, so it's got to be a pretty good feeling coming into the race. Change scene. We're not changing nothing yet, Cody. Just you wait. All right, Timmy LOL. Kilty is really lagging, rubber banding. Could be an interesting night. All right. Well, let's kick it, chat. Let's send it. We got 14 checked. The grid is set. Let's go racing. All right, we need some key elements here. We need a keyboard so you guys can get the best action we can possibly provide production value-wise. Check. And, well, we need a race. I mean, right? All right. Boom, kick them tires, light them fires. Let's go racing, everybody. All right, so what we're going to see is a rolling start here tonight. So we're going to see all the drivers just kind of slowly start rolling up towards the start-finish line, and then bang, they're going to be off, led by DDR, GVD, Kilty. Now, the reason for this is just trying to eliminate red flag situations here tonight. Let's go VPR, finish strong. Hey, what's up, Lucky7? Aaron coming with the thumbs up on the stream as well. Good luck to all our Pro-Am drivers. And there we go. We're racing as Kilty goes wide into the first corner here. Where's Vegas Paul? He's going to go wide into this first corner here. That's going to leave Heathen coming in. He's the first driver to get a nice clean line through turns 1 and 2. Side-by-side action here with Bandit and Fast Ginger. He's getting swallowed up here. We got Miguel up the inside, and oh boy, we got a sandwich. Ooh. Sideways there is Fast Ginger. Ooh, and Bandit. Miguel's getting racy here. So that M3 picking up a good little run there, but Miguel's going to grab that position. So Bandit's going to drop down. We got a yellow flag up ahead. I think that was Vegas Paul. He's just waiting for a safe moment to get on the track. We got Sol Invictus here as well. Not sure what he's got happening there. I think he's just chilling in behind here right at the moment. I'm going to go back through here real quick and see what happened there, if I can. All right, let's take a quick little look here and see what our replay button tells us here. Oh, and it looks like we just missed it. Maybe something between him and Vegas, or maybe Vegas collected up Sol a little bit here. But Sol, again, just letting those drivers before he gets back in his line. So some racing etiquette being shown by our championship points leader here. And he is now putting some pressure on Fast Ginger here, who has had a little bit of a rough start to our race. So it is Kilty. He's very quickly up the road here. 7.8 seconds. He's already ahead of these drivers as we come through the GP circuit. And that's what is on the screen up in front of you on the top right-hand side of our screen. I'll try to do the best I can to update the sectors as the drivers enter into them. It's Chip Reese here in third still, and we got a cluster of cars coming up, and it's a battle in the mid-pack from 4th down to about 9th place here currently. We got Cameron Crash Cup coming in with that thumbs up as well. Much love. Welcome into the broadcast. So here we go. It's Miguel in 4th place, but let's get back to this. Here's we got Bandit and Mustang almost side by side. Bandit's just going to edge him out there. Ooh, and Superman gets a great run through the corner there and gives Bandit a little nudge there as he almost got a twofer there, but he's just going to have to settle for one on Mustang. And now we're side by side with ATB and CB Matt, who are in an active battle here on this championship podium, and Egon sitting right there in behind him as well. So Mustang now in 7th place. The drivers starting to sort themselves out a little bit here. CB Matt in 8th. We've got ATB in 9th. We got Egon in 10th, and we have got ourselves a train to enter the Northlife sector. Woohoo, boy. All right, I knew this race was going to be spicy. So let's get back up. It's Kilty here in the lead, and he is quickly gaining up the road. So Kilty is cruising right now around the Nurburgring. It's Miguel here in 4th place. I'm kind of taking a look at the strategies here as we're going too as well. We got Bandit here in 6th. We've got Mustang, and side by side here, these pro-ams, there's no sleuth here. It is race on here tonight. Superman's already ahead. Oh, Bandit going wide there. Looks like somebody got pushed out there. I think it was Mustang that got pushed out there. As Bandit's just letting off a little bit here, oh boy, and it's just getting bad to worse here. This is a dangerous racetrack here to have a cluster, but it looks like everybody gets through safe and sound. I think Bandit was given the position back there is what's happening actually. We got Heathen here in 2nd place, and Chip Reese is right on his tail in 3rd place. We got Miguel here in 4th and Superman in 5th, and they've got a little bit of breathing room here now as Matt is up into 6th. Egon's in 7th, and we still got a battle between Soul and Death here now side by side for 8th and 9th place, and Soul's going to grab that spot from them. So, ooh, doggy, we got these guys swapping positions like crazy. Red flag rolling, start glitch. There was no start glitch. Kilty just got a good launch. Vegas spun, back the pack up a little bit. All right. Bandit here, we got Ginger here, we got Vegas in 14th position. So some drivers very early on struggling with this racetrack. Good luck, says Miss Devious. Go Superman, says Clarissa. Let's go VPR. We've seen that one already. All right, so it is Kilt here. He's 19 seconds up the road now from Chip. So Chip has made a mistake here somewhere along the way, or Kilty is just on a whole nother level at the moment here. Oh, and Superman sideways here, and oh boy, tons of cars in behind him here, and I believe that was Matt that got collected up in that. It was Matt that got collected up, so Superman making a mistake there and ending up sideways on the racetrack, and I'm not sure what it was here. Oh, maybe it was Soul that got mixed up here with Superman, and we got Vegas coming around here now, so Vegas going to try and scoop up a freebie here, but Soul's like, nah, we're going to just snatch that back up. So ooh, spicy little race we got happening here, and not sure what happened there, but Superman ended up sideways down the racetrack. Kilt was running away at the start line. Yeah, Vegas Paul was right in behind him. They were all the same distance apart from each other. Heathen was the same distance behind Vegas. All right, CB Mad here in 4th place. So some of these drivers moving up, some of them moving back down, some of them trying to move back up, some of them moving down. But right now the consistent is Kilty, but opening a big gap here. So he's sitting at 25 seconds ahead. I mean, it's 6 seconds per sector here, so legit, this guy just hasn't made a mistake yet. Chip Reese here is in 2nd place, and he's got Miguel all over him in the whole pack, so that tells me that Chip has made a mistake here. And this pack was about 8 seconds in behind Chip Reese here at one point, and now he's got the whole pack bearing down here. And here we go, side by side again, as Miguel's going to get around, Matt's going to get around, Egon's getting around, ATB's not able to get around there. ATB's got to settle back in behind there, so Chip losing 3 spots right there, and I think that was more of a here guys go around, I made a mistake, I don't want to mess anybody up situation, but greatly done by all those drivers. And boy, the racers have to be hyper aware here, as ATB's now settled in 6th, we got Death settled in 7th, we got Mustang in 8th, we got Ginger in 9th, we've got Bandit and Heathen in 10th and 11th. Oh, and that's going to be a steering wheel malfunction maybe, or some dirty air. That might have been some dirty air. And oh, Soul Victus coming around there, a little bit of contact, and oh boy, it's getting messy on the Nurb here tonight, as Superman is just coming up in behind these guys, and Vegas Paul is right there as well. So I thought we had a steering wheel malfunction there, but it looked like just 6 seconds back after turn 2. Yeah, Vegas went wide when he came into turn 2. Heathen checked up behind Vegas, and then we went through the whole grid, and they were all coming through turns 1 and 2. Literally as a cluster too. That was crazy. But we still have 14 drivers. Nobody was lagging the grid. In other words, they would have disconnected. All right, Bandit here in 10th, 9 seconds behind Chip. Soul is 2.3 seconds in behind. Heathen is 1.6 in behind him. Superman is a second behind him, and Vegas here in 14th position, a little bit just in behind them. So this guy here is running away with it. I mean, nobody can really dispute his pace as he continues just to tick seconds on every time we go through the field. Now that gap to 31 seconds as Matt dropping down the field quickly here. Something happening to CB Matt here, and oh boy, this has just been a tough day of racing here. Let's see what happened here, and he just went wide around the corner, caught a track edge there, and the Nurb making these drivers pay for their mistakes here tonight. He's going to drop down into P9 here now. He was up in this 3rd place there, so it doesn't matter, Chad. It's going. And Miguel's off wide here now as well in 3rd place. ATB here in 5th place. We've got Mustang in 6th. We've got Fast Ginger in 7th. We've got Chip in 8th. We've got Matt in 9th. We've got Bandit here in 10th and Soul in 11th. Each driver has made their own mistake that's put them in the position they're in currently right now, so really it's kind of irrelevant with the exception of the fact that Kilty continues to gain seconds on these guys. Egon's now up into 2nd place. He's come all the way from, 10th place now here as well in the grid, so he's moved up quickly with the mistakes of the drivers. You can see the separation on this long straight. I kind of would have thought that we'd see these guys a little bit closer together, but ATB's in that draft. He's now in 3rd place. Death is making a move on ATB here as they come into the final twisting bits here of the Nurburgring, and I'm not doing a great job at updating the track maps here for everybody. Ooh, and we got ATB getting it wrong here now. He's going to eat some grass here, and that might be good for Death here. He might be able to get a little bit of a run on ATB as he's going to have to be trying to find some traction with those tires, and now he may have to deal with dirty tires coming into turn 1 and 2 here as well. So going to be a little bit interesting to see here. All right, Fast Ginger in 6th. Ooh, and Chip making a mistake there as he's maybe clipped a little bit of the wall there, perhaps, coming around into turn 2. Let's take another look and see what happened there. See if he just went wide or if he just caught the nose. He just went a little bit wide there as he was coming around the corner. Didn't quite have the line coming in just right there, but it almost looked like he just clipped the nose there from the angle that our camera guy gave us. That's CB Matt now chasing here in 8th place. We got Soul Invictus here closing in 9th place as well. We got Bandit and Mustang here in 10th and 11th. So Mustang in that slipstream here as well. So this was a spot we've seen the Pro Division try to make as many moves as they could. It's a much more safer area of this very long circuit to make a pass on, of course. So the drivers really try to take advantage of the circuit here, but Bandit's doing a good job of sticking himself on the defensive lines here. Mustang is going to get position here, though, as they come around into the next corner. Is he going to get a good position, though, as he's stuck on the outside? But Bandit's probably going to go a little bit wide into the corner here, and I should allow Mustang to get a little bit of a run here. So on the inside, and let's see if Mustang gets a run here as we charge up the straightaway heading, well, what would be the chicane on the GP circuit is essentially the entry into the Nordschleife sector. There's a couple extra little corners involved, so it's a high sweeping S instead of a hard braking chicane here. And then this takes the drivers in towards the Nordschleife from here, so they'll have a little bit of a run. They're going to move over to the right-hand side, and they're going to set up for the entry into the Nordschleife, which we see Mustang coming into here right now. Got to be careful you don't sweep too wide, clip that outside wall, and then it is chaos. It is corner after corner after corner as we see Chip just ahead there. Ooh, and Egon getting sideways there, and he's starting to dip into Kilt's lead here now. 32-second lead here from Kilt so far. So we've got ATB here in 3rd. We've got Death here in 4th. We've got Ginger in 5th. We've got Miguel in 6th. We've got Matt in 7th. We've got Soul in 8th. We've got Chip in 9th. We've got Mustang in 10th. We have Bandit here in 11th place. We've got Heathen in 12th. We've got Superman in 13th. And we've got Vegas here rounding out the field here. He's 14 seconds in behind Superman here currently. It's very vicious tonight. Let's go Mustangs, says Sam. Hey, what is up, everybody? Alright, so it's Egon, and he's very closely followed here by Apex Sim Racing's Guardian, or ATV here, in third place. So right now these two are just chilling. They're trying to make up as much time as they can. Egon might have made a mistake there as ATV gained a little bit coming into the, well, I don't even know what I have no idea what the corner names are, chat. I couldn't even tell you. There's too many to remember here on this racetrack, even though we have great maps by Miss Devious here, of course. It's just 97 corners is a lot to remember. Especially at the, just taking a quick look while we're flipping through our drivers here. It's Fast Ginger here in 5th place. And right now we're entering that right section. So let's pop that up on the screen here. We got Soul in 7th, we've got Matt in 8th, we've got Mustang here in 9th, and it's a nice little train of cars here in our back mid-pack here, with followed very closely by Chip here. We've got Superman right behind in 11th, we've got Bandit just in behind here in 12th, Heathen is just a smidge further in behind there in 12th place, and then we got Vegas trailing and the pack here in 14th as well. So right now it is Kilty, but well, I mean, the driver's got to make pit stops here. And it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. Now, some of these drivers may have tuned into the race last night to see how many laps that the pros did, etc. So they may maybe alter their initial strategies based on that. But will they have the pace that the pro division had last night as well is a bigger question when factoring in that fuel calculation during your pit stops here. So we've seen it was about 3 laps on fuel around the ring here last night, so we should expect to see the same here in our Pro-Am division, of course, this evening. We got Death here, he's just 4 seconds in behind, and these time gaps between these drivers are really nothing on the Nurburgring. One mistake, and well, we've seen how quickly the drivers drop through the field here, so they're a little bit spread out right now, but ooh, there we go, Soul Invictus getting a little bit wide there, and you can see the sun is just starting to break down through the clouds at the setting here, so within the next half a lap it's going to start getting dark around the racetrack here, and then it's going to completely change the way this race looks for the drivers and how it feels underneath these drivers' race cars. As of course night conditions towards that track is going to start to cool down, which means it might be a little more difficult for the drivers to maintain that optimum temperature in those racing tires. So all these things need to be factored in as these drivers are, of course, making their pit stops, coming up with their strategies, talking with their teams in behind the scenes. We got Cameron coming in with that follow on the page as well. Welcome to the Winner Circle community. We appreciate that extra level of support. Welcome to the family, my guy. But it is Kilty's quickly moving along here. Egon here in 2nd place. We got ATV in 3rd. We've got Death in 4th. We've got Soul in 5th. We've got Miguel there in 6th place. We've got Ginger here in 7th. These drivers all fairly close together. So one little weeble wobble from 5th to 8th place here, and that driver could lose 2-3 quick positions here, as Fast Ginger now just settled in behind Miguel here, currently that is anyways, for 7th position. So Mustang just coming out of the carousel right there. Oh, okay, we know that corner name. See, we know one of them. We're on it. 1 out of 97 ain't bad, right? Superman here in 10th place. So the driver's swapping positions here. Bandit not quite able to hold that carousel there. As you can see, push him up there, so he had to take the long way around. Chip Reese here, he just settles right into there, just nice and cozy, and it just spits him out a little bit early there as he comes around as well. It's a tricky corner to really get right, as we got Heathen just getting ready to approach that corner here now, and then we got Vegas Paul just not too far in behind Heathen there, actually. So he's starting to round that up there. Facts. If they thought it was tough on lap 1, wait till it gets dark. We do have a couple VR racers here in the Pro-Am division as well. So one of them being our current 3rd place driver now, as ATB's found his way around Egon here. So ATB's now moved up into 2nd place, and Egon's trailing here in 3rd. So he is the first of the 2 VR drivers here in the field tonight. We have ATK Death here in 4th place, and he's only 3.9 seconds, so slowly but surely he's closing the gap up on the podium in front of him. Soul Invictus here, he's 5 seconds in behind Death here right now currently, and he's starting to make some ground up here. He's got some clean air to race in, and he seems to be locking into that race car now. We got Miguel in 6th place, and he's had a pretty good race here, a couple of little moments, and only losing 1 position so far from his race start, but he got the mini carousel wrong there, and that's going to mean that there is some pressure. So we're going to go side by side here as we get ready to head up the straight. And if I were Ginger here, I would just let him have it and tuck in behind to get ready for that big long run up the straightaway. But you know, decisions are made and things happen on the racetrack. So there we go. Fast Ginger go finding himself a little bit wide, but he's still close enough in behind CB Matt here where he should still be able to catch a little bit of slipstream from this driver and not cost too much time, but a couple of one position for sure there. Superman here in 9th place, and he's got Mustang now trailing in behind as well, so he's looking to take advantage of some slipstream on this absolutely very long straight. Kilt is in pit lane here. Got Mustang in 10th place. He's trying to chase Superman down. We've got Bandit here in 11th. Heathen here in 12th. We've got Chip in 13th. And Mr. Vegas just 17 seconds in behind here in 14th position. So we've got Death and Soul Invictus coming into pit lane here as well. So Egon is taking us around here as he opts to stay out for another lap, and he is going to grab a 3-second lead on Kilt. So it's about a 35-second pit stop here, depending on how much fuel, of course, it is the drivers opt to take in those race cars. Let's go VPR. Lap 3. It gets dark real quick. It's starting to get dark already here. So, and we're just entering our GP sector of the racetrack here. So Kilt in 2nd place here. We have Superman in 3rd place as he opts to go around again as well. We have ATK's Death in 4th after his pit. Soul's coming out here in 5th. Fast Ginger's in pit lane. ATB's in pit lane. ATB's going to come out ahead of Fast Ginger here. Miguel's in pit lane. Mustang's in pit lane. Matt's in pit lane. Matt jumps over these drivers as well. He jumps up into 7th position, so he grabs a couple spots there. Ginger loses a couple. Miguel loses 3 spots in the pit exchange here for our first round of pit stops around the racetrack. We got Bandit is still going around. We've got Mustang who has made his pit stop. Where is he then? He's going to pit. Chip's going to pit. So I guess the big question is now Paul going to pit next? So almost every driver pitting at the beginning of lap 3 here, with the exception of Egon and Superman. Ooh, and Egon getting it wrong here in the first chicane on the Nurburgring GP sector, and that's going to cost him a little bit of time to the driver in behind here. Superman in 3rd place and still got 28 seconds, so he gained about 5 seconds there as well so far on Kilt with that series of pit stops, but at some point Superman's going to owe that pit stop back. Soul here in 5th, ATB in 6th. We've got Matt in 7th, Ginger in 8th. We got Miguel in 9th. We've got Mustang here in 10th. We've got Bandit in 11th. We've got Vegas in 12th. We got Heathen. Ooh, 3-second pit penalty there as well. So that's going to be a tough penalty to serve at the very beginning of that long final straightaway before that takes us into the final S sectors of the Nurburgring. 24-hour layout here, so tough penalty there for Heathen. That's going to cost him some time at the end of lap 3 here, and that is, well, that's unfortunate. But the race goes on. 39 minutes and 50 seconds remaining, and Egon is currently in the lead. That 5-second gap is dwindling slightly here. It's down to 4 seconds now as Kilt starts to try and chase him down here in behind. We got Superman here in 3rd place and a little bit of a gap. So right now he just needs to worry about on opening the gap up in behind these two drivers who are now starting to close up on each other here. So Soul Invictus and ATK Death here, and Soul Invictus making a very quick, decisive move right there as they come in through that sector. And let's go take another look at that setup and pass move by Soul Invictus. So I give him a little flash there to Death as he was coming up just to let him know that he's there, and he takes him right up the inside there, and he's just going to continue on up the racetrack from there. So a little bit of communication between the drivers, and Soul Invictus is going to take 4th place over, and Death is going to take 5th. That leaves ATB chasing right here in 6th place. 5.8 seconds is that gap after the pit stops. Matt here in 7th place. He's about 8.8 seconds in behind. So maybe some drivers opting to take more fuel than others. That changes the amount of time, of course, they're in pit lane. So it's going to be interesting to see how that transitions now in the final pit stop for the end of the race. We got Miguel in 9th. We got Mustang here sitting in 10th place. We got Bandit still sitting in 11th. He's only 10 seconds in behind Mustang, and he's got a little bit of gap on the drivers up in front. We've got Heathen in 12th, Vegas in 13th, and Chip here in 14th position. So let's ride on board with our current race leader for a few corners around here. As you can see, it's getting quite dark out already. So from the cockpit of this BMW M6 by our current race leader Egon here, and this is big for him here. If he can get some podium points here tonight, that might lock down a overall podium finish here for him tonight as well. the Nurburgring in the dark. Now it's a party, a party time, and well, the drivers right now need to be 1,000% locked in and focused, especially those that have cars in behind. Now, right now, there's a little bit of a space between Egon and second place driver killed, 3.5 seconds. So currently not really affecting these two drivers, but Soul Invictus now here has overcome Superman as well, and he doesn't have to worry about the headlight glare. I'm trying to find a couple drivers that are close to each other here. There we go. So we do have Superman in here, and then he has ATK Death just 1.6 seconds in behind. So as this driver closes up, you can see just the tail end of his headlights getting to the rear bumper of that car. It's going to start to shine that cockpit up, and it might make it difficult for that driver in front to start being able to see a little bit. It might create a little all forms and sorts of different various issues here for that driver, so it starts to become very difficult. We have ATB here in 6th place, and he's 4.7 seconds behind, so starting to close in on those drivers as well. That leaves Matt chasing, in 7th place right here, and he's got Fast Ginger 1.3 seconds in behind him, so almost the same scenario here for Matt, as well as Fast Ginger quickly tries to close up the back door of that BMW. Miguel's here in 9th place, and Miguel is facing this issue. You can see the glare from those side mirrors here as that race car is just sitting right there in behind. He looks up in the rear view mirror, and he looks over in the side mirror. It's just nothing but bright yellow headlights, and you look in behind, there he is. Mustang just tucked in behind Miguel here right now, just waiting for a moment to strike. Maybe he's just being patient. Maybe there's a strategy here, but if Miguel makes a mistake, he definitely needs to be ready to react. So he wants to leave himself just a little bit of cushion room in order to be able to do that as well. So it's a tight balance around the Nurburgring here. We got Bandit here in 11th place. We got Heathen in 12th place. We've got Vegas in 13th. And he's got his windshield wipers going. I'm not sure why. And we got Chip here in 14th. Now, from what I can tell, it's pretty starry and only slightly cloudy outside, based off of what we can see from our interior views. Headlight glare in the VR is brutal. Drivers need to stay focused. Alright, so it is Kilt. He has managed to get his way around Egon here. It's 2.3 seconds now is that gap. Egon here has gotten himself into a little bit of trouble recently, suffering some front aero and front left suspension damage that has just gone away. So causing him 30 seconds of heartache and pain there for himself with that damage. We got Soul now in 3rd place, and 25 seconds is the gap. So this gentleman definitely likes a challenge. So let's see if he can close up the gap. We have Death here in 4th place, and he has Superman just in behind, 1.1 seconds. So ATK Death around the track here. Superman is still owing a pit stop here, much like Egon is as well. He didn't stop when the rest of the drivers chose to stop there. So there's a little bit of different strategies playing out there as we catch ATB getting a little bit wild off the track there. And again, you know, that track's starting to cool down. Maybe that grip, that traction underneath these racing tires, not ideal, as the drivers may be struggling to keep optimal race temperature going in those tires. So traction becoming a little bit of a struggle here as it gets darker and darker on the Nürburgring Nordschleife here tonight. It's Matt here in 8th place as well, and we're about entering this sector of the racetrack here right now. And Miguel sitting in 9th, and he's still got Mustang just nestled in behind him here right now, just well, lighting up the way, so to speak, I guess, and just chilling right now here in 10th place. So great patience being shown here by Mustang right now as he's just tucked in behind Miguel. We got Bandit here in 11th, and we're just monitoring these time gaps between these drivers. We got Vegas and Heathen only separated by 3 seconds. Now Heathen has that 3-second penalty, so that might give Vegas a position here. We got Chip here 21 seconds in behind, but again, pit stop strategies, it's all going to change. It's going to come down to really the final couple laps here, I think, at the end of the night. So Egon there, as we suspected, coming into pit lane. So Kilty's just going to go around, retaining Marie's lead here and open up that gap a little bit. But that's going to leave Soul Invictus here chasing now. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do with that gap. Tough racing here, but a long racetrack and not really that hard to make that time up if you really get on a rail and just get focused in here around the racetrack. So it's ATK's Death here in 4th place. It's ATB in 5th. Superman down into P6 here now. And I think we're going to be seeing a pit stop coming from that gentleman here real soon. We got Ginger in 7th with Matt in 8th as we enter our GP circuit here now. With our race leader DDR Kilt. So doing a good job here so far. We have Soul here in second place. We have Death here in third. We've got Egon in fourth, just coming around turn 2 there. You can see even on the Nurburgring GP circuit, it's not really that brightly lit. So even when you think the drivers are going to get a little bit of reprieve here, they really don't. So it's just going to be some tough racing here for the next about 20 minutes or so of this race until it starts to lighten back up a little bit. And that is if we get to that point in the race, that is. Ginger here in 6th place. That still leaves Matt in 7th, but he is closing in. 2.5 seconds is the gap. Mustang coming around here in 8th place with Superman in pit lane. So it's going to be interesting to see where he settles out when all this comes down here. We got Miguel in 9th. We got Superman now coming out here, and he is going to come out in 10th place. Got Bandit, Heathen, Vegas, and Chip right there. Let's stick with Vegas here for a second and Heathen. Heathen has served that penalty now. So what is that gap between the two of them? So Vegas Paul making a mistake somewhere and missing an opportunity there to grab a position. We got Bandit coming into pit lane there for some racing tires and some of that there VP racing fuel as well. So right now is 29-second gap here from Kilt as we go around the Nurb. Soul Invictus chasing here in 2nd place, and the fastest lap belonging to Egon with an 8:37.567 so far. So I believe the fastest lap was an 8-minute 9-second lap last night in the Pro Division. So you can definitely see that there is a pace difference here around this absolutely lengthy, difficult racetrack this evening for our finale night here. So that's it. This is all said and done. We're crowning our podium finishers here this week, and it's going to definitely come down to some calculating here, I think, behind the scenes to figure out our Pro-Am podium finishers this week. But it is Ginger here in 6th, it's Matt in 7th, it's Mustang in 8th, it's Miguel in 9th, it's Superman in 10th, Chip now in 11th with that pit stop from Bandit there. Heathen is closing in on Bandit with that pit stop, but it looks like I thought he was coming in for a pit stop, but I was like, he just pit. So position just not too far up the road ahead of him there with Bandit Zeke potentially, and Vegas here just 10 seconds in behind. So again, every one of these drivers still kind of close enough to take advantage of a mistake of another driver. And just as we say that, we got Kilty going off the track here, and that's going to cost him 5 to 6 seconds of track time here on Soul Invictus, who's trying to chase him down here. So a mistake made by our race leader, and although he has a comfortable little gap here right now, you don't want to make too many of those mistakes here on this racetrack, because well, the drivers will eventually catch up. And Soul Invictus is definitely more than capable of doing so, as that timing has gone from 28 down to 22 seconds, is still dropping. So a little over 6 seconds lost right there with that mistake from DDR Kilt, who's currently leading this race. So interesting to see. We'll see how Soul Invictus responds to that notice in time difference there as well. ATK Death doing very well here in 3rd place. It's ATB in 4th. It's Egon after his pit stop. He's come out in 5th place. He's got Fast Ginger and Matt chasing here in 6th and 7th place. And again, all these drivers are really starting to close back up to each other here for the most part. Got a little bit of separation in the back half of our pack at the moment, with Mustang here in 8th, Miguel in 9th. So Mustang definitely got some position on Miguel there. Superman in 10th. He's only 2.3 seconds in behind Miguel. Still holding top 10 here. Chip in 11th. We got Bandit here in 12th. We've got Heathen in 13th, and we've got Vegas here in 14th position. We got Anthony coming in with that like and that share on the stream as well. Hope you're doing well, my guy. Long time no see. Hope everything's fantastic where you're at. Hope the fam is good. Let's go Kilty DDR. It is Kilt in the lead here, and 20 seconds now that gap, so 10 seconds lost there from that little bit of a mistake made by Kilty. And Soul Invictus is like a shark in the water. Got the scent, and he is now on the move, as it is now under 20 seconds. So ATK Death here in 3rd place. We got ATB in 4th. We got Egon in 5th. We've got Ginger in 6th. We've got Matt in 7th. We've got Mustang in 8th. We've got Miguel in 9th. Superman here in 10th place. We have, pardon me, Chip in 11th. We've got Bandit in 12th. We've got Heathen in 13th, and we've got Vegas rounding out the field. We started with 14, and we still got 14. So Soul Invictus is putting in the work. How you doing, Mr. Tim? I'm doing fantastic, Mr. Saloon. I hope you're doing well as well. And well, we got some great racing at the Nurb here tonight, that's for sure. So that lead, 19 seconds here. Soul is just doing everything he can here to dip into it. The live timing is messing with us a tiny little bit here, but we get the gist of it. Soul Invictus is definitely starting to track him down, and oh boy, here we go. We got a battle, and it's going to be, two positions lost there by Egon, as CB Matt just squeaking through there as well. So a little bit of tire rub as he went through there, and I think that was Egon just letting these drivers through. I think he realizes that there's a difference in tire combination here and playing the smart game here. And CB Matt and Ginger now going to move up into 5th and 6th place. And Egon ideally is going to try and just sit there in behind these guys now and use that those drivers to try and pull them around the track a little bit quicker. So we'll have to keep our eye on that. We have Mustang 22 seconds behind Egon. He may be able to start to make some ground up here. We have Miguel in 9th place. We do have Superman here in 10th. We've got Chip here in 11th. We've got Heathen in 12th. We've got Bandit in 13th, and Vegas here in 14th position. So Soul Invictus, man, trying to chase this guy down. Right now that gap back up to 22 seconds on the racetrack. So Kilt doing a pretty good job at managing that gap, even with the mistake made just about a minute ago on the racetrack. Glad to hear it. I think glad to hear that the community's doing well out there. I know, things can be rough sometimes, but it's good to hear that the community is doing well, so we appreciate that. Thank you for the heads up. We appreciate you, my guy. Keep pushing, Matt. Keep pushing. DDR Kilt, 22 seconds. Soul Invictus, he is in 2nd. This driver is definitely capable of reeling in that driver, so we'll have to see. We're still got 26 minutes of racing remaining, so plenty of time for these drivers to make any time up that they need to make up. Plenty of time for drivers to make those mistakes as well. ATB here in 4th place. Now we got Ginger in 5th, and it's about 11 seconds between him and ATB. ATB's got 4 seconds to death in behind. Now, this is fairly important because ATB needs to finish ahead of Matt and Death in order to try and jump them in the standings, but he needs several positions. So right now in the position where ATB is sitting, he doesn't have enough to grab a overall podium. How's it going, John? Let's go. Kilty says no lander, coming in with that thumbs up. We appreciate you, John. Hope you're doing fantastic as well. Keep pushing, Matt. Alright, we got Ginger here in 5th place, and Matt is still right there, so Matt's just chilling right now. He is going to stay nice and close here. Maybe he's just waiting to make that move for the end of the lap. Egon here struggling a little bit here in 7th place, going a little bit wider in that corner. Mustang is just eating into Egon here, 22 seconds down to 8.7 and dropping here, so Mustang quickly closing in on Egon. Miguel here in 9th place. He has 22 seconds in between him, but Superman's starting to close in here. 10th place driver now closing in on Miguel here in 9th place. So as we near the end of this race, the pace of the drivers really starting to draw them back together, and I think that's going to lead to some good battles before the end of this thing. Let's go, ATB. Ooh, and a little mistake there from Superman. A little bit of time that's going to cost him as he gets into that wall. And we've seen 2 or 3 drivers go visit Barrier in that specific individual spot on the racetrack here tonight. That seems to be the spot that everybody's falling victim to, especially here in the darker conditions around the racetrack. It's probably about 3, maybe 3:30, 4 a.m. in the morning here at the Nurburgring right now, based on the time. So the drivers racing into the wee hours of the morning here now, tearing up the German skyline. And ATK Death here in 3rd place and 11 seconds in behind Soul Invictus. So he's starting to close in on Soul a little bit. ATB's 2.9 seconds and can see Death up there now, so he's starting to try and see if he can make something happen here as they continue up the road. Fast Ginger and Matt finally battling it out here, so waiting for that GP sector was Matt, and there we go. He is getting it one and done here as he makes the move on the outside of Fast Ginger there as well. So well done there by Matt. Goes in late under the brakes, just rolls that car through the corner, waits for it, and just gets that thing around. Holding a great rate of speed as well, so that was a great move there by Matt. And he is now, well, objective is try to lose Fast Ginger here at this point and reel in ATB up in front of him. So Egon here is now only 4.4 seconds in front of Mustang J. So Mustang J is most certainly going to catch him here. Superman is going to grab P9 with Miguel coming into pit lane here. We have Chip Reese here in 11th with Bandit in 12th. We've got Heathen in 13th, and we've got Mr. Vegas here in 14th. And I love seeing all the drivers still on track here at this point in the race, and credit to our Pro Division, much of the same thing last night as well. This is no easy task what these drivers are doing here tonight, so kudos to each and every one of them that, well, hit that gas pedal here tonight. But it is killed. 20 seconds, staying steady at the moment here for the Soul Invictus. A little bit of a shaky start here for this driver, or I think things will be a little bit different, so well, we'll have to see what these drivers have to say at the end of the race, but we do have an in-race official here as well within the lobby itself that has the right to call any red flag situations as well. So we do have a double fail-safe in a sense. So if you didn't feel like the grid start was wrong enough to flag it, then we are definitely good to go. But I think we'll have a couple things to be looking at here throughout this race. You know, Stewart's definitely catching some things here throughout the race. So Egon here in 7th, we've got Mustang in 8th, we've got Superman in 9th, we've got Miguel in 10th after his pit stop. So he's got some work to do there. Right now he's got clean air, putting good clean fast lap or two here, and then when the drivers in front do make their pit stops, hopefully he has made up enough time in that clean air to gain that time up on those drivers and fight for position at the end of the race. Kilty is putting in some work. Kilty is putting in some work. He is absolutely sending it here right now. A little bit of stake there. He got himself into the wall a little bit there. He's fortunate not to pick up any racing damage from that hit, but again, just little things that cost you little bits of time, and you give enough fuel to the fire of a very quick driver here, and he could make you pay for it. So again, Soul just seeing that time drop down a little bit. He's got his head down right now, and he is just absolutely trying to catch that race leader, but Kilty looking in very in command here so far tonight. Ginger here in 6th, we've got Mustang in 7th, we've got Egon in 8th, we've got Superman in 9th, we've got Miguel in 10th, we've got Chip here in 11th, we've got Heathen in 12th, we've got Bandit in 13th, and we've got Mr. Vegas here in 14th position. So 20 minutes remaining. What's going to happen? What do we think? We think Kilty's got it. We think Kilty's going to take this thing away for the win. Oh, that one. All right. Well, we'll have to wait and see. 18.7 seconds is that gap. Now, he is going to owe a pit stop. This driver's still going to owe a pit stop. Pretty much every driver owes a pit stop here at this point. Now, the question is, do they all take it at the same time? Do they have enough fuel to try undercut, overcut? It's going to be really interesting to see how these drivers strategize the last pit stop here, because by the time they get around the end of this lap, they're going to have to make that stop. So it's going to come down to how much time is left on that timer and how many laps that's going to calculate into. So we got Ginger here in 6th, we got Mustang in 7th, we got Egon in 8th, we got Superman in 9th, we got Miguel still holding 10th, nice and good here. We got Chip in 11th, then we got Heathen. And is that a mistake? Yes, it is. So just a little bit of a mistake here from Heathen. I was just worried it's a wheel issue. I feel for I feel for the drivers in the series when they have issues with equipment and disconnect and connections. We just want to see them race. So it might not be going well or the way he planned it, but he's still on track, and that's what matters the most. So we love to see it. We love to see it. You're gonna make it, Heathen. Keep going, brother. We got DDR killed here in first place, and Soul Invictus is definitely dipping into that time. Oh, and there he goes. I cursed him. I shouldn't have said it. My guy. 41 minutes in. That's unfortunate. ATK Death here in 3rd place, ATB in 4th, Matt in 5th, we've got Ginger in 6th, we've got Mustang in 7th, we got Egon in 8th, we got Superman in 9th, we've got Miguel here still in 10th, we've got Chip in 11th, Bandit in 12th, and Vegas here in 13th. So what we were seeing was exactly what we thought we were seeing, that it was an equipment malfunction from the steering wheel, which causes a PlayStation error, which unfortunately closes the app down. So unfortunately for Heathen, going to get a 14th place position finish here tonight with that DC. Gutted. Got it for my boy Ian coming in with that like and that share of the stream. Legend up in the house. DDR, a DMJ competitor over there in the EU side of things here. So I love to see our EU drivers coming in and see what the North American boys are up to here. But it's Kilty leading the way, and Soul Invictus really starting to put the pressure on here. He's starting to shed some time down here. He's got it now down to under 16 seconds. That was a 30-second gap. Basically just before the start of lap 4 here, so the drivers are starting to show that they mean business here. Death here in 3rd place. He's got a little cushion on ATB currently here in 4th. Fast Gingers here in 5th with Matt in 6th. We got Mustang here in 7th with Egon in 8th. Superman 23 seconds and closing in behind here in 9th with Miguel in 10th. Got Mr. Chip Reese here in 11th place. We got Bandit here in 12th, and we got Vegas Paul here in 13th. And tough racetrack for some of these drivers. Some of these drivers are still learning the game, are still learning these tracks as well. So this is by far one of the toughest ones out there. And kudos to all the drivers. They're really giving it their all. So it's Kilty, and he's coming into pit lane here. I suspected we were going to see a pit stop. The question is, do we see a pit stop come from the rest of the drivers in behind them now? Are they going to stay on a similar strategy? Are they on a different strategy? And how is that going to relate to difference in time once they make the pit stop? So Soul makes that pit stop. Kilt has 5%. He's got 4%. So it's going to come down to that also important fuel decision here now. How much fuel are they putting in those race cars? Death is going to make that stop as well in behind these drivers. See if ATB does the same thing. He does. Is Fast Ginger going to do the same thing? He's a little bit further down the road here. He's just coming out of that long straight run. He's got to go through the S's here. And then that takes us up into where pit entry is. Ooh, almost gets it a little bit wrong there as he eats a lot of curb there, but keeps that car underneath of him. And he is also going to make that pit stop. So Kilt comes out. Right now the gap is about 32 seconds. So that is going to change, obviously, because the timing just hasn't corrected itself yet. Once Soul gets across that next live timing sector, it'll reassociate with a proper live timing. So let's see what this distance is, and let's see if Soul can get it done. We're looking like about a 20-second gap here, so Kilty gaining just a little bit of time there in pit lane, and Soul Invictus picking up a little bit of damage there, so that's not going to help the cause of the chase here, but we're within 16 minutes, so this is going to be 2 to go here, so this outlap and one final lap for these drivers, and some of them might not even get across the line in time. It's hard to say, but we're down to it. We're getting near it. We're getting down to crowning some champions. Again, Soul Invictus, no matter what happens here tonight, will be crowned our Pro-Am Division champion here tonight. So win, lose, or draw, that is where that sits. But our 2nd and 3rd place finishers are not decided. It is a 4-way battle between Death, Matt, ATB, and Egon. And right now, Matt and Death doing just enough to hold their spots here, but there is implications. Death could jump over Matt here and take 2nd place overall still as well. So there's a few different ways this could pan out here by the end of the night tonight. We have ATB currently sitting in 4th, Fast Ginger in 5th. We got Matt in 6th with Mustang in 7th. We got Egon in 8th, Superman in 9th. We've got Miguel in 10th. We've got Chip in 11th. We've got Bandit here in 12th place, and a couple of M3s on the grid here in the Pro-Am division tonight. Those drivers looking for those jack points. And Paul here in 13th, flashing them headlights. Yeah, I think he's listening to the stream. I don't know. What do you guys think? All right, so it is Kilty. 17.3 seconds is that gap between him and 2nd place driver Soul. We have ATK Death here in 3rd place. We've got ATB now rocking and rolling here in 4th place. He's only 6.2 seconds in behind, but time is starting to run out for some of these drivers and their charges. Fast Ginger here in 5th place, and he's got a decent gap from Matt here in 6th place of about 15 seconds right now, and Matt has some pressure from Mustang J. So ATK Death, his teammate, currently sitting on that final podium position. Really could use a little help here from Mustang, and would probably love to see his teammate park that beautiful BMW just in front of CB Matt here before this race is over. We got Egon here in 8th position. We've got Superman in 9th. We've got Miguel here in 10th. We've got Chip stopping for his final stop of the race here. Bandit's picked up a little bit of damage here, and I believe that is our race leader coming by there. ATB? Ah, it was Vegas Paul. Vegas Paul grabbing a position there. I was just looking at the timing gap going, well, that's not right. They're not 8 minutes behind, so they're not getting lapped. My bad. All right, so it is Kilt. And he's still holding a lead here. He's got 12 and a half minutes remaining to keep this thing locked down. Soul here in 2nd, definitely bleeding into that gap. ATK Death here in 3rd place. Right now, this is just hang on to this position. If we get another one, even better. But doing the math in his head as he's coming around the track here to see where everything's going to sort themselves out. We got ATB here in 4th place, and he's only 4.1 seconds in behind, so he is starting to reel death in here as well. That leaves ATK's Fast Ginger here in 5th place, and he's in a good spot here right now. He's got no immediate pressure from anybody in behind him, and lots of clean air and clean racetrack in front of him. CB Matt in 6th place. It's a little bit of a different ball game for this driver right now, as he does have Mustang J really starting to close up on the back bumper of his race car here. So can Mustang J help the teammate out a little bit there and secure a 2nd place overall finish? There's so many things happening on this racetrack right now. Got Egon here in 8th place. He's one of the other drivers fighting for that final podium finish on the season. And right now where he's sitting, it's not where he needs to be. He needs to be up in the higher positions. We got Superman here in 9th place. We've got Miguel in 10th overall. We've got Chip here in 11th. We've got Vegas in 12th and Matt here in 13th. And our boy Heathen will get those 14th place points. On board with our current race leader, you can see it's getting, starting to get a little bit lighter out in the sky. It's turning a little bit bluer out there. The clouds are starting to disappear a little bit too as well, which is helping with a little bit of visibility here for the drivers as we finish off our race today. And, Kilty just kind of hanging on to that carousel there, and that's just another thing that can cost you time around this racetrack here. And it's Soul Invictus just as we go to see the charge from Soul Invictus here, getting it wrong, making a mistake, and the mistake made by Kilty is null and void here from the mistake made by Soul Invictus here as he charges around the racetrack. Tough love around the Nurburgring here. That allows ATK to grab a couple more seconds on Soul here as well. And ATB is just absolutely closing in here. 4th place, 2.5 seconds. ATB needs the highest possible finish that he can get here tonight as well to try and grab a overall podium finish here for the season. Shane coming in with that like on the stream. We appreciate you, my guy. We hope you and yours are doing fantastic. It is Mustang J here in 6th. We've got Matt in 7th. So Mustang doing what he needed to do here. He putting Matt another car in between him and his teammate ATK Death. So a little bit of help coming from a friend down the grid here a little bit, and just making life a little more interesting in these final standings here this season. We've got Egon in 9th, Superman in 10th, and Miguel rounding out our top 10 here. But right now, the big question is, can Kilty hold it together here for another time around? Hey, how's it going, Shane? I'm fantastic. We are doing some racing. Championship finale night here at DMJ, Vroom Vroom North America, and round 10. Crowning some champions this week. We love championship week here. It's DDR Kilt in the lead, and it's still 18.2 seconds. The Soul's still trying to bleed that time, but he is not helping his cause any by making little mistakes himself. We got ATB in 4th place, and now 10 seconds in behind Death, so making a mistake himself now and hurting his charge to try and grab another position. Fast Ginger here, he's just cruising. He's locked in right now, slowing down just a little tiny bit, losing a little bit of time to his teammate Mustang J in behind, but Mustang has started to separate himself from Matt in 7th place. Egon here in 8th with Superman here in 9th. We're just monitoring some gaps here, so It's quite a spread out race at this point here for the most part now in this Pro-Am division, and well, I'm not too surprised to see that. Various pace levels of drivers. Some drivers react to this track really well, some not so much, and well, little mistakes. We've seen the little mistakes really turn into big mistakes for some of our drivers here tonight, and that's not helped to cause any either. And our race leader not excluded from that. He's made his share of mistakes here tonight too, but just a little less than the rest of the field chasing him here right now, and a healthy little gap as well to help that out. Soul Invictus here, though, it's 15.9 seconds. Soul Invictus does have fastest lap on track with an 8-minute 20.166, and Kilt's fastest lap on the racetrack was 8:31.399. So based off that information, that is going to put it relatively close by the end of this lap. If that does remain the case on this final lap, this will be our final racing lap here today, as ATK Death has now entered his final lap of the race. ATB's just hitting that point right now as he comes across the start-finish line. It'll be his final lap here to finish his season off with as well. So the driver's starting to come around for one more go-around, one more time around the racetrack here for DMJ. Vroom Vroom, Season 3 choice of weapon, and Fast Ginger here in 5th. Mustang still in 6th place and opening that gap up on Matt there in 7th place in behind. We got Egon in 8th, we got Superman in 9th, we've got Miguel here in 10th, we've got Chip in 11th, we've got Vegas now in 12th, and Bandit here in 13th position. So some of those back drivers swapping positions around still here a little bit as they have their struggles. Kilty is killing it. Hey, Kilty is, he really is. He is on it tonight. He definitely came ready to race, but Soul Invictus is dripping away that time. I guess the question is, can he be 15 seconds faster around the racetrack this lap? Dan Kilt Racer. If he can put in another 8:20 lap here, then the potential is definitely there. We got ATK Death here, and his best lap's an 8:29.1 as well for him here tonight, so it's a pretty good lap here for him. ATB here in 4th place, and it's an 8:24 for him, so you can see that the drivers are relatively close in pace. They're just spread out right now. An 8:27 for Ginger. Mustangs is an 8:28, Matt's is an 8:25, so you can see Matt has good pace around this racetrack. It's just trying to get a good clean lap around this racetrack is a very difficult task. 8:37 is Egon here, so a little off pace for Egon. 8:46 for Superman. Just over 9 minutes here for Mr. Vegas. Chip here, 9:19, 9:17, 9:22. So you can see, again, some of these drivers still learning and still figuring all this sim racing business out, but they're still here competing and giving it their all week in and week out. So it doesn't matter your skill level. Everyone's welcome to come here and race, and you really are welcomed with open arms by the rest of the drivers. And well, they're always willing to open up their brain of knowledge and try to do everything they can to help you figure it out a little bit quicker as well. Shane coming in with that share on the stream as well. Appreciate that extra level of support with that share, my guy. So, Mr. Kilt, I mean, cruising. 1st place, 12.9 seconds. Feeling some pressure though. This man, Soul Invictus, is shredding that time down here. And right now, this is a man on a mission for 1st place. ATK Death here in 3rd place, and boy, this driver has just turned up the heat at the end of this season, and he's got himself in a beautiful position to grab a P2 overall here. ATB's in 4th place, and I'm not sure where the dust settles with him here yet, but ATK's Fast Ginger here in 5th place. We've got Mustang J here in 6th. We've got Matt in 7th. Where CB Matt finishes really does kind of affect where Death and ATB currently ahead of him are going to finish. Those point gaps very minimal here at this point in time. So Superman here is in 9th. We have Miguel in 10th. We've got Chip here in 11th. Vegas in 12th, and Bandit here in 13th. And maybe next season we'll have to get some live updating point standings up on the screen for everybody so we can track this throughout the season. That would be pretty fun, hey? We'll have to see if we can make some magic happen. DDR Kilt, 3.5 minutes remaining on the clock. That should be enough time for these drivers to get back around to the start-finish line before the extra 3 minutes of time runs out. So essentially they'll get 3 minutes past the 60 minutes here to finish this race today. Once that 3 minutes goes down, that is going to be it. And where the drivers finish when that timer runs out is going to be our racing result here tonight. So Soul is, well, he's nipped it down to almost 10 seconds here, so he's almost taken 10 seconds out of this gap, but he is running out of racetrack. ATK's Death here in third place. We got ATB in fourth, Fast Ginger in fifth still, Mustang in sixth, Matt closing in, so Mustang must have made a mistake, and it's 3.6 seconds, so ooh, things getting spicy back here in sixth and seventh place all of a sudden. Egon here, you got a little bit of gap between him and Matt right now, 15 seconds. Superman 22 seconds in behind. Egon is still holding down a good solid top 10 finish here. Ninth place currently, Miguel in 10th, Chip in 11th, Mr. Vegas in 12th, and Bandit Air in 13th. So back to Kilty as he comes through the carousel. Kilty is lagging a little bit, so that's why we're seeing the car do weird things. Shares and likes are always a plus to help out all my favorite streamers. Don't forget to smash that like button. Hey, we appreciate you, Shane. We really do. Let's go VPR. Final push. DDR Kilty, 14 seconds. Open it back up a little bit, but boy, oh boy, almost got it wrong there as he got a little sideways over that curbing there. So, whew, it is definitely coming down to it here. ATK Death here in third place and ATV in fourth. So, we're just kind of keeping our eye on really our kind of our top 7 here at the moment, because a big mistake could still definitely change positions here on this racetrack. So we're chilling, we're hanging out. You can see all the beautiful redding all over this racetrack. Here's our driver as well. Fill it with rubber, that's what they do. And Kilty, well, familiar with the racetrack, clearly. Man, you're coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. We appreciate you. Hope you're doing fantastic, my dude. Hope you and yours are well. Soul is, well, hey, you know, a credit to Kilty, because Soul really was starting to apply some serious pressure there. And Kilty seemed to have responded. He started really hooking up the final part of his lap here, and he's starting to open that gap back up. So, yeah, Kilty's looking pretty good here tonight on the Nurburgring 24 layout. A minute and a half. Stay smooth, Kilty. Yeah, and it's going to be actually really close whether or not he crosses start-finish line in time for another lap here. It's about 45 seconds from the time we hit the straightaway, so this should be it. So, let's see, 14 seconds, 23 to Death. Death to ATB's 19. And I mean, it is, this is going to be a battle right here. I think 6th and 7th place. The gap is closing now, 1.1 seconds, and Death really needs his teammate to hold Matt off here. So I'm not sure if you know, this driver is thinking about that right now or not, but definitely needs a little help from the ATK Motorsports teammate there. Where's the party at for Kilts? I don't know. TVD guys are pretty good here. It's like a second home to them. And clearly, as Kilty's coming up the straightaway here, there's, well, that's it. The clock is going to be ran down here by the time he hits the catwalk going over the racetrack here. So there we go. That's it. We are going to see a race finish for the last time in Season 3 here this season. But that's all right. We got more coming. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Alright, so it is DDR Kilty. It's just got one corner left to go and a juicy straightaway, and that is going to be Kilt Racer's first race win here at DMJ Vroom Room. Congratulations to Kilt for a nice drive here at the Nurburgring 24-hour. Well-deserved first place finish here. Soul Invictus. Huge props to this driver. He worked his butt off to catch Kilt. Just didn't have the answer for him here today. ATK Death, he's just been a solid contender all season long, is going to find himself coming across on that final step of the podium. Oh boy, hey, we got to finish it off with a little mowing of the lawn too while we're at it. But he does have the cushion there, so no need to panic here for this driver. Just get it back on track and bring it home. Take that checkered flag. It is going to be a third place finish here for ATK's Death from ATK Motorsports. ATB is going to settle in just behind here in fourth place. So some big question marks for a couple of these drivers. Was it enough for ATK Death to take second overall, and did ATB do enough to take third place overall from CB Matt? We'll have to wait to see. ATK Fast Gingers coming around here in 5th place, and you can see Mustang and Matt, they're coming here, and they're not that far in behind, as all three of these drivers really closed up quickly here to finish this race off. So got about a minute and a half left to go here, and it is going to be Fast Ginger with a 5th place finish, with Mustang finishing in 6th and Matt here in 7th. So here we go. It's going to be Egon coming around for 8th place. So the big question is, was it enough for ATK Death to take 2nd overall, and was it enough for ATB to squeeze his way to 3rd place overall? Ooh. Oh boy. Can't wait to see these, the way these standings lay out later. We got 8th place here for Egon. We're going to have Superman coming home with a strong 9th place finish here for himself tonight as well. And you know, it was a tough day for all these drivers on this racetrack, but they just gained that much more experience around this racetrack. Just back her up, my guy. Don't panic. You're all good, my dude. There we go, and he's going to bring her home. It's a little bit of a war wound just to say goodbye to Nurburgring and, of course, Barrier here on the way through. So congratulations to Superman. He is going to take this thing home in 9th place, and Miguel is going to run down our clock here in our top 10. It'll be Chip Reese in 11th, Vegas in 12th, and Bandit Zeke in 13th. And Heathen, with that disconnect, will get 14th place points here tonight for, completing 60% of the race, essentially. Great race, all well done. Hey, GG's killed. There we go. And Miguel just about getting across that finish line there, but it is DDR GG's Kilty with the finale win here tonight. So GG's to Kilt. Replay saved. Alright, so our unofficial race results here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, now the drivers have that 24-hour window period to file any instant reports. Of course, those get assessed, if there is any, of course, and then from there, decisions are made. If there's appeals and there's an extra process, from there the standings will be figured out. So we got to give the Pro-Ams their time to sort all that out. However, with that being said, the one sure thing here in our Pro-Am finale this week, is that Soul Invictus is our DMJ North American first ever Pro-Am division champion. That much we can definitely say for sure. From the rest, well, we're going to have to let our amazing statistician do the dirty work and let us know what happens from there. So it's going to be interesting to see. Kilty in first place, Soul Invictus in second, and that fastest lap on the racetrack. So bonus point there for Soul. ATK Death in third place, the only M3 on the podium here tonight. ATB in fourth. ATK's Fast Ginger finishing in fifth, and Mustang in sixth. Matt gave a good charge at the end, just couldn't get the position back, finishing up in seventh place here for VPR Racing. Egon finishing up in eighth place. In ninth place is Apex Racing Superman, followed by VPR's Miguel, followed by VPR team owner and founder Chip Reese as well in 11th. Vegas here in 12th, with Bandit finishing in 13th, and Heathen disconnecting at about the 41-minute mark of the race here, unfortunately, and we'll finish up here in 14th position this evening. Whew. Tough racing out there for all of those drivers. But good job to all the drivers all at the same time. They didn't have it easy out there. So we're just checking our podium chat here. We're just waiting for some drivers to come in. Alright, yeah, I know, Heathen brother, my dude. Ah, poor guy. Alright, well, we'll hang out here. So, we're just waiting for Death, Mr. Soul Invictus, and Mr. Kilty We'll have a little chat with those drivers, and then we'll break down what happened here tonight at the Nurburgring. Well, I mean, it was an interesting race. That much we could definitely say for sure. We've seen some very early struggles by several of the drivers early on in the race. Once they seemed to kind of get their footing down, then they kind of started to lock in and put in their paces, started to put in their laps. But they definitely had a workout as the dark started to set in. It just complicated the difficulty factor here around the racetrack, and well, these drivers definitely had their work cut out for them here tonight, without a question of a doubt. So, some tough racing on a tough racetrack by some tough racers, and well, we finally got a finishing order. So, congratulations to all our drivers on track and to our Pro-Am division as well. We've had a couple of drivers not able to finish out their seasons as well, but it doesn't change the fact that they were just as much a part of this as the rest of the drivers that were here on track this evening. So, shout out to all the drivers. I think we started the season with about 34 or 35 registered drivers. We had 40 registered drivers. We qualified 33, and we still currently running with 30 drivers exactly. So it's been a really good season. The drivers seem to have enjoyed the series, and that's really all we can ask for. So GG's to these pro-ams. The pro-ams always have hearts of champions. They always show up no matter what's going on. They always or just give it all they got, and it's for the process, it's for the experience, it's just to learn, it's to pick up their pace, it's to fight, it's to have some good clean racing. So the Pro-Am lobbies are always one of my favorites, just because you know that grid's going to be a juicy, healthy, full grid of drivers week in and week out. All right, so we got a couple of our podium guys here, so we will start with them here, and we'll see if the race leader pops in at some point here throughout the interviews. But we're going to start off with third place finisher ATK Motorsports Death, his first sim racing league competition here this season at DMJ Vroom Room North America in his Pro-Am division, and boy, did he ever have a great season. Tough racing out there tonight on an absolutely difficult racing track, and you managed it pretty well. It seemed like every driver had their moments of disarray here at the Nurburgring tonight, but overall, still standing on that bottom step of the podium. So, talk us through your race and how you feeling.
Oh man, I'm feeling great. All things going, that should put me into P3 for the season. So I'm super stoked for that. To bring home a podium finish for ATK is amazing. The race was a little sketchy. I'm sure you saw that first turn. I was backwards, so to come back from that and end up in P3, I'm definitely happy with it. It was definitely a little bit crazy. That first lap was just as nuts as I think we had all imagined it would be. Cars flying everywhere, everybody racing as hard as they could to try and keep their position. But everybody did a pretty good job of keeping it as clean as we could, I think, for the circumstances.
Yeah, and we had some mention of something like that in the chat. Unfortunately, I didn't see it happen, obviously, but um, everybody kind of had their struggles here in the race today, so you really just kind of benefited from that. All things said and done, I mean, I guess karma has a funny way of working itself out, maybe, I suppose, but it doesn't take away from the fact that you had good race pace today, and once you really locked it in, you kind of just seemed to home into the racetrack and get around it fairly well. So overall, happy with how the race went, I guess, with the exception of the start.
Definitely, the race was great. I had a lap where I was a little, I don't know if it was nerves or what, but I was definitely driving a little crazy and missing my marks on my turn ins, and I had to I think that was lap 2 and lap 3. Once I got onto those softs, I just had to take a deep breath, slow down a little bit and get back into a groove. And once I did, I found it and I was back in it. Pace was pretty good. It wasn't as good as it had been in practice, but obviously it was good enough for a podium position, so that's all we can ask for.
Absolutely, and it's funny with Matt finishing in seventh place here in the race. It's actually going to make that very close for a potential P2 finish for you. So, have you considered that yet on the season?
No, to be honest with you, I didn't even do the math on that to see where I would stand if that were to happen. I was more worried about the fight between me and ATV at the moment, and to be honest, I kind of realized tonight whenever he had switched into that M6 after we had been practicing in the M3 the whole week, that he was going to make it a little bit easier on me because he wasn't going to take those jack of all trades points. which I collected as well this round. So that was why I chose the M3. I had good pace on it. It was pretty smooth for me. I had a lot less mistakes out of it versus running the M6, where the M6 liked to get loose in certain corners. The M3 really didn't. So it was great overall. I didn't think about that though. The fact that I could end up in P2 over that. I guess we'll see once they get the results out.
Absolutely, and it's close enough for me not really to be able to say one way or the other. So we're definitely going to have to wait for our statistician to sort that all out here in behind the scenes as we make everything official. But I mean, crazy race, lots of things happening. And early on, it seemed like is when kind of when everybody, maybe like you said, it was a little bit of nerves and just the nature of the track that everybody was facing tonight. But it seemed like a lot of the bigger mistakes were made very early on in the race, and then the whole field really just kind of settled in. So at that point, it came down to strategy, and well, strategy was definitely good enough for you here tonight. And I mean, just a solid race tonight and a solid race season overall. So first competitive racing season for you. Happy overall with how everything went.
Oh, I'm super stoked with how it went. I'm super happy to be a part of this. It's been awesome. I couldn't ask for a better season to run in. It's my first one. Like I've said before, I'm definitely looking forward to keep doing this. This is brought a whole new life to doing the racing than just running daily races and stuff like that. It's been a blast learning from these guys, racing alongside these guys, making new friends. Man, it's been awesome.
Absolutely, and I mean that's what it's all about at the end of the day is coming out and having fun. I mean, obviously, winning a championship every once in a while or winning a few races always helps the confidence a little bit. But at the end of the day, as long as we're out there having fun, that really is what counts the most. So, but I mean, great racing, and nonetheless, you're definitely going to be standing on that podium overall at the end of the season. So. Let's talk about that a little bit. Congratulations on that. It's just which step it is, we're not sure yet. So, did you think that was going to happen when you started this season?
Man, the first race I was real confident, but then I got knocked down pretty bad, and I think it was race 2, 3, 4, and maybe even 5. I can't really remember, but I was way back there in the field most of those races. I was P6 and below for quite a while, and kind of got me down a little bit. Got me thinking I wasn't going to be up there in the top, but put my head down, kept racing, and definitely pulled off a great season in my opinion for what it's worth, and I'm super stoked for it.
And I mean, that's all you could do, right? I mean, all you can do is practice and get on track and do your best. And I mean, at the end of the race, you take it back, you sit and look at it, you try to learn from your mistakes, you maybe try to learn from what somebody that had maybe a little bit of a quicker race than you was doing over you. Maybe you pick something up, and then you just take that into the next one. But looking good out there, and of course, with that overall podium finish on the season, that does guarantee you at bare minimum a pro-am position again in the next coming season as well. So a little bonus for you. But that does mean that our pro-am drivers will still need to qualify because they do, of course, hit a higher split pace. Then we will, of course, graduate them up into that other lobby as well. So minimum pro-am position for ATK Motorsports Death next season. Not sure when that is yet, so I can't give you guys any insight on when we're going to see a season 4 yet. But it is, of course, under development and in discussion over there at DMJ. So once we know, you guys will know. But a great season for you, and I guess any final regards and any shout-outs you want to pass along the way here.
I want to say congratulations to Kilt Racer. I think he really showed what he could do this race in particular. I kind of hopped into a lobby with him, and I couldn't shake him. That was for sure. And he showed the kind of pace he can have. So great race, buddy. That was awesome. Same thing with Soul. He had a great comeback. He got knocked down a couple times, I think, right there at the beginning, but he really just again put his head down and kept on racing, and made some great moves and really, really had a great pace throughout the race. So congratulations to you on that P2, buddy. Coming from where you did, that was a darn good race. The shout outs, the first one will always go to my wife for making sure I can do this every night that I can and getting the practice time in. She's a peach for letting me do this, and a big shout out to Attack Motorsports for setting me up and getting me going on this, and getting me into these league races, and Tom for bringing me into this particular series. Shout out to Fast Ginger and Mustang Jay. They put on a good fight coming in late to this series, and really all the other drivers involved in this series, and everybody that puts this on for us. It's a great time. It's been good fighting throughout the entire season, and I'm super stoked for the next one coming up. I can't wait to race in it as well. And then I think the last ones are just going to be some of our sponsors, man, and it'll be, Boogamel for making all of our attack merchandise, and Angela Bailey Designs for making all of our decals and setting us up, and everybody that's involved with the team. It's great, and everybody that's involved with DMJ Vroom Room and yourself, GT45 Gaming, and all that. You guys do great for us, and we appreciate everything you do.
Well, very well said, and of course we appreciate the ATK Motorsports team coming in with showing some mega support this season, bringing in lots of the drivers, and boy, it was fun to watch you guys show that skill on the racetrack. So we definitely look forward to seeing a return from the ATK Motorsports team when we do decide to announce that fourth season of Choice of Weapons. So congratulations on a great race finish here today, even though apparently we had a little faux pas at the beginning of the race, but nonetheless, strong finish and even stronger finish on the season. So we'll let you get back to that clubhouse, let you get back to the fam, and enjoy the moment. Great racing. All right. Let us talk to this man. This man, Mr. Sol Invictus, VPR Polymath, came into the season and definitely put some pressure on this division here this season, and they really did respond quite well, and we suspected that there was a slight issue with some contact at one point there early on in the race, and I think Sol was just giving a position back, but again with the apparent grid glitch too, which we'll review at the end of the day here. It kind of shook things up at the beginning of the race. So, yeah, you kind of got that shook off. You kind of got back to the paces. You started getting into your rhythm, and then you started moving up the grid. So let's talk about that first. I mean, early on in the race, some drivers struggled very early on, not necessarily to the rolling start issue, but just with the nature of the track itself, maybe cold tires, maybe a little bit of nerves, able to take advantage of some of that. But some great battles and some great decisive moves there. And one of those was on ATK Death at one point about midway through the race there, where we seen you flashing the lights. Was that just a little bit of communication to let them know that you were coming through hot to trot, and just to let them know you were there type thing? But great racing. Just talk us through it here today.
First and foremost, I want to say I appreciate everything you guys do, especially you, Ghost, commentating and all the stuff that you do behind the scenes, and everybody else. I want to also thank all the current racers that took the time to race, made this race extremely exciting. Unfortunately, I'm just surprised that the race went on, to be quite honest, due to the rolling start issue in the beginning of the race. But I guess it went unnoticed. But I guess that's a topic for another a moment. As far as ATK Death and yes, it was a communication strategy. I think that if I put my high beams on, he'd understand that I'm coming in hot, and he rightfully so moved to the right side of the track and allowed me to pass by. So again, ATK Death, hats off to you, buddy. Great win in second place. That was outstanding. And yeah.
And I mean, Kilty had a big advantage there, obviously, with whatever was happening at the race start. And you're right. It just did go unnoticed. I was following the race leader because of the rolling start, just the way the cameras work. So I was kind of locked in until the race started there, and just didn't see what was happening in behind. So that's on me, as it always is. I'm the host of the series, so I will deal with that behind the scenes. But nonetheless, man, I know you're a quick driver. It's no surprise. I mean, a few viewers have been watching and commenting on it all season. So a little bit of a challenge here for tonight. And boy, oh boy, you almost reeled him in there at the end of the race. So, I mean, let's talk about that. You got into second place, and then he made a mistake. He had a little bit of a half spin, a moment on the racetrack there with I think it was right before the pit window, the final pit window there. and you gained about 9 seconds on him in there. Was that the moment that you really kind of started to push a little extra, or was it just you were in a rhythm, you were just trying to go around the track as quick as you could and just see if you were going to reel him in?
To be quite honest, I couldn't get a single clean lap in. For some reason, I just like I was just off. I mean, you know, I literally practiced today. So, I mean, with the guys, I just, this week's been pretty hell for me. It's been busy. So I just couldn't get a clean lap in. I mean, it's ridiculous. One lap, I probably went in and with the hards, I got one clean lap in, but with the softs, I couldn't get a clean one. When I saw the time drop, um, of course, I tried to take some advantage to it, but I was making my own mistakes. You know, it happens. Lack of practice.
Absolutely, and I mean, I can't understand where the lack of practice comes from on this particular racetrack, because it's just such a beast of a racetrack that you could practice until the cows come home, and it's still only those little mistakes really do add up on this racetrack at cost of drivers, and we've seen that throughout some of the field here tonight. But nonetheless, I mean, it's still a great recovery, and without a couple of those little bobbles, I think you would have been putting the pressure on him right at the end of the race there. But again, of course, that's why we say our results are always unofficial, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, is because obviously the races need to go under review after the race. But it's still a second place finish, and I mean, for you, the implications are a lot less either way. You had that championship locked in coming today, but fair play is fair play nonetheless. So first and foremost, congratulations. You're the first Pro Am Division champion ever in DMJ Choice of Weapons Series here in North America or in the European side. So a little bit of a big moment there, and you had a little over a 40-point spread lead, I think, coming into the race, so nobody could even take it from you if they tried to anyways tonight. So that guarantees, again, your spot to come back at bare minimum Pro-Am division. Of course, you will have the right to qualify to try and get into a better split if that is, if the qualifying allows for it, of course. It's up to the drivers. But it was a well fought season, and these drivers really responded to your pace here today and put a lot of pressure on you. They stole a couple of wins away from you, and a little bit of strategy played some factors in on some of those races. So, congratulations on a really great racing season, and let's just talk about your overall season and how you felt it went for you. You came in, you were a little, you didn't have the strategy quite figured out yet, but once you really started to lock that part of the series, and it really started to show. So. Just tell the fans a little bit how you felt the season went, and yeah, yeah.
To be quite honest, Ghost, I think that this is based. I just think that this is the best league I've been in Gran Turismo history. I mean, things do happen, mistakes happen, like today, of course. But I mean, we're all human. We make mistakes. You can't just be looking at every single thing. And I genuinely think that this is the best league to be in. Not just because of the guys, but because of you and everybody behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure this will repeat itself. I'm almost 100% sure this would be, you guys will make another league and people will want to join because your stewarding is top notch. Especially your stewarding. I mean, hands down, the best stewarding I've ever witnessed, and it's just fair. Also, track selection, how you turn things upside down, and first and foremost, the drivers. It's just a lot of fun, and yeah, I'm excited for what's to come, and starting this league, I was a little nervous. I've never been in a league before ever in any Gran Turismo game. This is genuinely my first league, and with that being said, this is my first team I've ever been a part of, and man, I can't say how blessed I am. Basically, these guys are top notch guys. It's like a family here. We all take care of each other as best we can. We all worry about each other to the next level. Um, and yeah, man, it's just it was a slow start as far as strategy wise, and it slowly progressed to the point where everybody was on the same page, and we just all got together. We started getting coordinated as far as strategy, and we just started improving slowly but surely, and it just worked out. Um, there's some races that, of course, even Miguel, which is the current VPR member as we speak, is is also a person that was able to get a win as well from me because of a mistake, and that just goes to show that Doesn't matter how fast you are. If you make a mistake and people can capitalize on it, you can lose a race. And that happened 3 to 4 times in a race. I believe it happened 3 times. You know, and yeah, anything is possible. So as far as being in the league and being a part of the team and just knowing all you guys and everybody that I met through so far throughout the season, that stuff you just can't take back or replace it for anything else. So I'm just happy to be a part of it. I'm happy that this is growing to the point where it is, and I'm excited for you, for Miss Devious, for everybody behind the scene, and I'm also excited for all the drivers because if you guys make it better, it'll be better for us, and then at the end, it'll be better for everybody. So it's just a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and that just means it's going to be even better for the fans and the viewers at home, and they're really the heart and soul behind what DMJ does. They provide these esports leagues and these series and these events for drivers to participate in for the fans, for the viewers at home, for the people that can't get out to the real racetrack and see the real thing. Maybe they can't watch it on cable TV because it's not available in their area. They have the next best thing. They can come here. They can come to Facebook and YouTube, which is easily available to most people around the world, and they can come and hang out and they can watch it in our virtual world here. So it really is the heart and soul of what we do here is the viewers at home. So it was definitely a good call there by Soul. Definitely a big shout out to the viewers at home. And your shout outs, my man. The fam jams or the team, whatever, whoever you'd like to thank on your season here as well.
Obviously, I'd like to thank my girl. I'd like to thank pretty much all the guys at VPR. I'd like to thank you, Miss Devious, and everybody behind the scenes. It's it's just a good time, and it's a great league. Again, I can't stress that enough. It's a great league, um, the best one I've ever been in, and yeah, it's there's nothing else to say. I'm just excited for what's to come, and I hope that it comes sooner than later. To be quite honest, it's not a lot of leagues out there that I can compare to this, and again, I know mistakes happen. It's normal. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Absolutely, and I mean, the job for me now is, of course, to see what went wrong and then find a solution for it, so we don't make that mistake again in the next season. So, improvement is always what we're looking for. Not only, of course, as the league and the representatives or the hosts or the commentators, but the drivers much of the same thing as well. So, feedback is always important, ladies and gentlemen, and it's always you always got to take it on the constructive side of things because, well, like you said, we're only human. We all make mistakes. But tonight, almost, just one mistake too many maybe tonight for reeling in that win. But a great race finish and a great race season. So, of course, we'll be in touch with our podium finishers here in behind the scenes as well. And we'll start getting set up where we can send some trophies and some prizes to these drivers for all their efforts this season. But, big season, big congratulations. And I'm definitely looking forward to see what you could do most likely in that pro lobby next season.
Hey man, that lobby is full of killers. Apex Paymay, Apex Jakey, and all the Apex guys. These guys are on another level. I just want to be able to compete because at the end of the day, I'm looking to get faster. No offense to the pro am division. I'm not saying it in a way where like I'm saying they're slow or anything like that. I'm just saying that, these guys are definitely fast and I just want to compete against really fast guys because I just want to get faster too. So that's all it is.
Absolutely, and so Invictus, much like I think ATK Death here as well, ladies and gentlemen, definitely have a good opportunity at potentially making that higher split next season. They looked real good out there this season long, so the eyes are definitely going to be on those two drivers come next qualifying season. But again, we appreciate your support, especially the VPR team. There's lots of support and love that comes from the what is it, the Viper Pit Racing crew or something like that. I think is that right?
Victory
Pace Racing. Sorry, I do apologize, VPR. I know
No,
so much going on through my
okay.
head here all the time, but
It's okay.
Yeah, we do appreciate support, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to do a little talk show stream here. I think next week we're going to get some of the drivers in that haven't had a chance to talk too much this season to the fans, so the fans, of course, can get to know the rest of our drivers here as well. And we'll want to talk to our overall podium finishers next week at some point as well. So stay tuned, folks, for that. Of course, we'll coordinate that with all our drivers as we'll try to accommodate the schedules the best we can for everybody. So, we'll get a moment to have a sit down and talk with you after everything kind of decompresses on the season and we get everything kind of all allocated together and make everything official. But congratulations on a really great RAN season this season.
Thanks again, Ghost. And I want to say one last thing before I go. VPR, we're more than just a team. With the Toretto voice, we're family. All right?
Love it.
I just want everybody to know that if you feel like you need to find a team, you want to feel at home, you want to surround yourself with a great group of guys. No offense to you, Ghost, your team is great as well. We are all a great community. But if you're looking for a team out there and you're a new racer, you don't have to be fast. You just have to be a good person and genuine. We have room for you.
Well, there you go.
I want to say thank you. And have a good night, brother.
Absolutely. Cheers, brother. And a really great racing season. And there you go. All those racers out there maybe thinking about joining a team. VPR Racing has their doors open for all you racers out there to get competitive and get out there and have some fun with the rest of them. All right. Well, now we can go finally talk to our man here, the man who won the race. Big controversy going on over this race tonight. But you know what? Nobody could touch this guy. He maintained a gap here tonight. He made one big mistake. It almost cost him. But at the end of the day, this guy was untouchable. He had almost a flawless race around this racetrack for 7 full complete laps around the green hell here tonight. And it is a well-deserved and a well-earned victory here for you tonight. Congratulations. First DMJ victory here, I believe, for DDR Kilt as well. And, well, what better race to do it than on finale night, man? Congratulations. Talk us through it, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Well, I didn't know what was going on at first because I was confused. I was like looking at the time and I was getting faster and faster ahead of everybody. And I was like, okay, is it a glitch? So I kept watching for red flag or the exit. No, that didn't show up. So I just said, keep going. So I ran as fast as I could on the first 2 laps on hards, and then switched to softs and kept going. When I hit that wall, I thought it was done. I was going to lose the whole thing. But my only plan was to come and put on a good show and show you guys what's coming next season.
Absolutely.
Definitely. You know what I mean?
Definitely putting a stamp on it. I mean, showing that you're ready to come in and race in a full season and well, try to take home your first DMJ championship as well, no matter what division it is that you find yourself in next season. But and we've said that in behind the scenes, not only to Kilt himself, but also to some of the other drivers around in the division in the series as well. That this guy settled in quick into his rhythm, back into his paces. He's been away from the game for a little bit here, and well, look out for Kilt Racer next season, that's for sure. But first victory at DMJ, you've been a proud, strong supporter of the DMJ series, not only here in the North American side, but also over there in the UK side as well. So bittersweet tonight?
Oh, I love it. I hope I made all the DDR boys proud over there. Like, this track is one of the hardest to do, and then to do 3 to 4 laps in complete darkness, that's not an easy task. This is where I got to thank Ghost Viper because of how many times I've done this track with him and his squad. And I think that's where I bonused out, was the fact of doing it so much with those boys. And I think I'm going to do it tonight. I made sure I didn't do any racing all day. I just hopped on and did my thing. Now hopefully I can do it for next season and bring some wins for myself and the team.
Absolutely, and I mean, it's funny that you bring that up because a couple of our viewers that throughout the broadcast had brought that up as well. It's these GVG guys and this Nurburgring. It's like their jams. So, just out there representing, doing your thing, right? Just racing, and I mean. For some drivers tonight, it was, podium implications, championship implications, but for Kilt, it was coming in and just putting on a show, like you said. And boy, what a show you put on, coming in with a with a very great performance. And I mean, all things aside, no matter what happened at the start, a 6 or 7 second gap, you won that race by 20 seconds. So, some of the fastest drivers in the division did everything they could to try and close that gap up. But at the end of the day, you just made
Oh, I
less
seen them
mistakes.
coming.
You just made less
I seen them
mistakes.
coming. That was my whole plan, dude. Was run this thing and try not to smack anything. Don't hit the grass. Don't hit the walls. When it gets dark, go a little bit slower. Take my time. So I put some fuel saving on to guarantee I'd slow myself down. Took my time, taking every turn. I believe there's like 97 turns we got to do in this track. So yeah, it was memorable. I love doing this with all you guys.
Well, absolutely, we appreciate. We were sad to see that you had to step down as full time driver, but we were absolutely ecstatic to see that you're ready to come back in and race again. And well, got to get in the last third of the season here, at least for yourself. So next season is a whole new season, ladies and gentlemen. But look out for Killer Racer because he's looking racy, isn't he, folks? But big win. Is it your first league racing win now? I know you league raced in the
Yep.
past, so.
It's my first ever.
Well, there we
So
go.
that's why I was all shaky at the end. I'm like, did I actually just win that? I looked at my wife halfway through the race. I'm like, I'm not sure if the lobby's glitching or something, but I'm like way ahead of these guys, so I'm just gonna keep going. So I don't even know what happened at the beginning other than I know I took off like a bat out of hell and I didn't look back.
Yeah, well, you gained a nice little tiny gap on Paul, and no, I'm not sure what happened either without having to review it, obviously.
Because
But
I know when the race started, because I watch my screen all the time, and I noticed up in the top corner it was me in the lead, and then Miguel, and then it was Egon, I believe, right after him. And then suddenly Miguel disappeared, and it was Egon behind me for quite a while. And then Miguel reappeared on the thing, but it wasn't showing his time or anything. And then it went back to where he completely disappeared, and I didn't see him throughout the rest of the race.
oh, he was
So
most
I don't
certainly
know.
there. He was most certainly there. So a little bit of
Yeah,
net
I
coding
thought it was
happening
kind of
there.
weird. So I didn't know if it was an accident that happened in the back that caused like a jam up with them to slow everybody down, or if it was a glitch in the lobby. I just kept watching to see if there was going to be a restart. There was none, so
Yeah.
I made
yeah.
it like I was being chased by the ghosts in the darkness, and I just kept going.
Well, I mean, nonetheless, you maintained a solid 20-second gap throughout the duration of that race, even with the half spin there in the uphill S's, leading into the latter part of the racetrack. So, no matter what happened, this man definitely had pace here tonight, and at the end of the day, nobody could reel him in to take it away from him. So, really great race around a tough track. 97 left and right hand corners as well, ladies and gentlemen. He wasn't wrong on the 24-hour layout. So, 7 times around those 97 left and right hand corners for DDR Kilty here tonight, and he comes out on top. And another first here for another driver here in the very first ever Pro-Am division here in DMJ Choice of Weapon as well. So when we talk about the season, we talk about the drivers, we talk about the community, we talk about the viewers, we talk about the team behind the scenes, we talk about the fans. But I'm most happy for our drivers this season because a lot of drivers built a lot of confidence and seems like they had a lot of fun this season. So unfortunately, I don't have any information on when the next season is coming just yet for everybody, but like I said, it is definitely going to be coming as they are starting to work on it now. But what I can tell the folks at home for sure, the plan is that we are going to run the North American Series in cohesion with the UK Series. And you know what that means for all the viewers that were here for season 1. That means something special coming at the end of the season, just like season 1. So something is definitely in the works. It's definitely been discussed. We just got to leave the amazing brainchilds behind DMJ to do what they do best and develop these amazing choice of weapon series they keep handing down the line here. So, a huge win tonight. I guess any last anything you want to add to that, of course, and any shout-outs?
Well, first off, I want to thank you, man. Without you, none of us could race together and do this the way we do. Every time you put on a great show, commentary's top notch. even chatting with you off to the side has always been a pleasure. And you're the first I'd have to thank out of everybody that I'd have to thank, because without you, I wouldn't be sitting here having this pleasure of first time in winners chat and on podium. And then thank the wife, of course, for putting up with me racing all the time and doing this. And then DDR, DMJ, Vroom Vroom, Ghost Viper, all the boys, Apex, ATK, Bandit. I gotta give him big props. That boy's advanced a lot. Me and him practice a lot. He lets me chase him, which helped me to hone in my skills also. So I thank him for being around to help out with my practicing and stuff like that, and anybody else that rides with me. And I can't wait for next season to start up and do this all over again.
Oh, me too. It's definitely the bright spot in the week here for this guy as well. But we definitely have something else coming. It's just not going to be the Choice of Weapons series. We are going to have a little bit of a pause in between the seasons, of course, for that. But we do have something pretty good coming down the line here very soon as well. So watch out the Discord for those that are in the Discord and those that follow us here on our socials. Definitely keep an eye out for that, because when it comes, it'll be announced. Registration will open, and it'll be time to go racing again. But finale night, a little extra special here for you on a very difficult racetrack, so cherish it, enjoy your moment, go give that wife a big ol' kiss, and well, we'll talk to you soon, my guy. Congratulations on a great race finish tonight.
GT45, have a good one, yourself and everybody else. Remember, don't quit, don't stop until you reach that top, and it can be done. I just proved it.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers, Kilt. We appreciate your time, brother.
Anytime, bud. Have a good one. Love yous all.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Those are some good interviews. We had an issue at the race start, clearly. We'll take a look at that. But it is what it is. The race continued on. The drivers did what the drivers are supposed to do in that situation and continue racing. So again, kudos to the drivers, just following the rules and the way the series is ran behind the scenes. They know that it is not their job to stop racing till that call is made. That call wasn't made, so they continued their race. From there, it'll be handled behind the scenes. So appreciation to the drivers. We've made mistakes, not only as the organizers, but all parts of it. We all make little blips and little mistakes. We've had a similar situation like this already once this year with this particular division. So the secondary process that we put in place, not perfect. Nothing ever is, but that's all right. We'll work on it. We'll improve it, and it'll be ready for next season, that's for sure. But it didn't take away from the fact that these drivers had a great race. It didn't take away from the fact that Kilt Racer had the pace to win tonight, no matter what happened in this race tonight. Obviously, things might have been a little bit different. Sol Invictus and some of our back drivers clearly getting a little bit caught up in whatever was happening. So we'll sort it all out, and then we'll take it from there. But we appreciate y'all. Let's do it again, says Ginger. And, that doesn't mean we're gone forever. We are going to be bringing our DMJ Sprints nights back to the screen here in the time being until we have some more racing action on the big screen for everybody at home. So our live commentary will still continue here on Tuesday nights on behalf of DMJ Vroom Room. We will be doing some DMJ Sprint nights. We'll do some tracks. We'll do a certain car combination each week. And if you want to be a part of that, of course, jump into the Discord server here at GT45 Gaming, and we'll get you all set up as the registrations will be put up in the server for that. But from there, if we still have room in the lobby, of course, it will be open to our followers, our community, and the open general public as well to come in and see if they got what it takes to beat our DMJ champions. It'll be some of the race settings from this season, not all of them, but just something to spice it up and again, just to keep it real to DMJ and what they do. So that will be provided with live commentary by yours truly each Tuesday night, and then Wednesday night will be replaced with the Nations Cup racing, actually a Manufacturers Cup, as the World Series Tour events, of course, are continuing on here now. So we will be replacing the Pro-Am division with that for the time being. And we'll get an announcement made on the pages for a schedule until we've got the next series up and ready to go. Can't wait till next now, says Kilt. But no highlight videos. Of course, we did things a little bit differently here this week with it being finale night. That doesn't mean that the highlight videos don't exist. Oh, they just also exist. We're going to start posting those on the YouTube channel here at GT45 Gaming after this week is over. So next week we will release DMJ Sprint Week 1 and 2. And then each following week we will release the rounds in order from round 1 to 10 for both our divisions. So you will be able to recap all the greatest moments from both our divisions all season long over on the YouTube channel. And of course we will let everybody know when we post those so you can all go watch them and catch those greatest moments again throughout our great season. Just a little bit of memory lane for season 3, and there was a lot to remember. So stay tuned. Lots happening here. We don't want to take away from what we're doing here from DMJ, so we'll save it for another day. So first and foremost, it's the end of the season, so we got to go through the big process here, ladies and gentlemen. So bear with me. For those of you that are still hanging out, I absolutely appreciate you. You're legendary. I really got to send out an extra special thank you to my admin staff, to Apex Racing's Jakey, Apex Racing's Larry Birch, to Egon, to D.90, who's in there because he is our DMJ representative here, and to Miss Devious as well. She coming in with some extra special love, making some really amazing track maps for the page, which really, I think, brought things to a whole different level for us here this season. So to the admin staff, a massive thank you. To our stewarding division, Apex Racing's Bar 27, we had Pigums, we had Kel's Rec from Flying Fox Racing, we had Rockefeller Racing's Magic Man in on the stewarding staff this season as well. So to my stewards, it was a tough season. There was a lot of hard decisions that had to be made, but as Soul said, I really think that the stewarding was on point this season. I think they did a great job. There were definitely a couple of mistakes made, but the process came through, corrected everything the way it was supposed to. And everything always works out when things and communication happen. So, huge thank you to DMJ Vroom Room. Obviously, we wouldn't have this if it wasn't for them coming up with this absolutely brilliant series, this Choice of Weapons series, third season. I didn't know season 1 could be topped, and then season 2 came and those drivers smashed it out of the park. And then we had a break, a long break, and it was worth the wait because season 3 came. It was bigger, it was badder, it was bolder, and the drivers are faster. So, what does season 4 have in store for us? Only our imaginations can really come up with that answer right now. We'll have to see what those car combinations are going to be, what that beautiful track list is, and well, tell your friends, tell your racing buddies, because we're opening up a third division in our season 4 of Choice of Weapon here at GT45 Gaming. We are going to add another split. That's right, 14 more driving positions will become available in season 4. That's right, folks. That's right. We're going to make this racing tighter. We're going to make the splits even stronger. And we're going to bring more great skilled drivers in to show off for everybody. So that means we could have 3 nights of great racing next time. DMJ Vroom Room Choice of Weapons on screen here in North America. A lot's happening, I told you. Lots of big ideas coming. And it's only because of the success of the amazing racing community and viewers at home that we can continue to try and be bigger and better and bolder for everybody. So, thanks to them. Of course, thanks to LWR Designs and DDR coming in as partners of the series. Again, the series is sponsored and there is prizes provided to our top 3 from both divisions here. So, that's got to come from somewhere. Special shout out to GT Omega and Fanatec as well. Always been proud supporters of the Choice of Weapons series in DMJ Vroom Room here. And I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. But an extra special thank you to High Pre Graphics. It takes a lot of time to make the visuals the way he does here. We add in our own little personal touches with all the help from all our other members of our team. But at the end of the day, this guy's come in clutch all season long with some great looking overlays for our racers to show off with. So much love to High Pre Graphics, and of course returning every season is High Pre Graphics here with GT45 Gaming. So the visuals will just continue to be looking awesome, and they're going to continue to improve, and some new things coming here in the off season as well as they get developed. So lots to say. Thanks to the drivers. We had, like I said, we had 34 officially qualify for the season. Of course, some had to leave due to real life kicks in. We understand. So, special thank you to all those drivers. past and still present here. Of course, all drivers still in the Discord servers, so they know what's going on. Obviously, if there's another season and they can make it, they're always more than welcome. But for the new drivers out there, for those of you that want into the series, you just gotta follow the page. You just gotta keep your eye on those socials, or keep an eye on them with one of the drivers that's your favorite driver that you know in the community, because when it drops, it's gonna be hot and it's gonna fill up quick. But it is open to all skill levels and all ages of drivers. Again, very family-oriented community here at GT45 Gaming, and well, the drivers say it all for themselves every week in the interviews. But great racing here. Again, we'll check things out. We'll get with the staff and behind the scenes. We'll make some calls. We'll make an assessment. We'll get some results put away, and we'll get some announcement on the pages officially announcing who that second and third place overall podium finisher here in our Pro-Am division is. So stay tuned for that. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for the likes, the shares, the comments. Thanks for listening to me babble on all night long, because, well, that's what we do, and we appreciate you, and I hope you all enjoy it. We try to bring it in high energy as we can. Good night to all the kids out there. Have a great day of school tomorrow. To the parents, hope you have a fantastic day at work, and, well, stay strong, stay positive, keep your nose up. There's always somebody in a worse situation than you are, no matter what it is that you're going through, and positivity is the way to success, everybody. So stay winning, and remember, you all matter. We appreciate you, and we're going to send you out with a little tune skis.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.